Just before we begin the video, I'd like to tell you about a free beginner jazz guitar course which I have available for anyone that is new to learning jazz guitar. I've put this jazz guitar course together to break down jazz guitar in a coherent and structured way. There are over 25 4K video lessons and a 40-page downloadable PDF to help you get started. Each module comes with downloadable PDFs, chord diagrams, etudes and studies to help you get started learning the wonderful art of jazz. In this lesson, I would like to teach you how you can take some basic arpeggio shapes from the harmonized major scale, shapes like this, or shapes like this, and add some rhythmic devices to them so that they can sound much more bebop, so you get sounds like this. Or maybe something that sounds like this. The first two examples deal exclusively with the harmonized major scale. You should know the degrees to the harmonized major scale from memory in all 12 keys. So without even thinking about it, then I need you to know that chord 1 is always a major 7, chord 2 is a minor 7, chord 3 is a minor 7, chord 4 is a major 7, etc. Because all these examples are applied over that, so you need to have that as a foundation. The first example, played slowly, sounds like this. And then a little bit quicker, it sounds like this. That's over the first 3 degrees of the harmonized major scale. So we're using a descending arpeggio to start this off, and the very important thing is that rather than play with this fingering for this example, we're actually playing with this fingering right here, which goes root 3 5 7. Okay, now we're going to start the 7th with a down pluck because the next 3 notes are on different strings, and we're going to use what's known in jazz terms as back picking. This is quite similar to sweep picking, which is generally more associated with metal guitar and shredding and all that kind of stuff, but lots of jazzers were doing this in the 1940s and 50s, so you know, jazz predates metal. Anyways, that's how it sounds on the first part. So we've got a down, and then on the upstroke we're getting this entire flurry of notes here, and we've got a triplet for the triad notes. Then we're going to use a little bit of legato to drop to the 7th, and then we're going to spin the pick around to do consecutive downstrokes on the triadic notes we've just played. So played slowly, down, up, legato, and then 3 down plucks. And that is the start of the first arpeggio. Played once again. It sounds like that. So if this is completely new to you, then what you might want to do is maybe just play the first 4 notes at the same time, just to get used to that picking. And you know, the good thing about this is when you're playing it with triplets, you've got a lot of control and you can still basically get an audible, clear, it almost sounds like you're just playing every note with downstrokes if you get the evenness of the upstrokes well. It has a nice sense of authority. So once you can do that pattern over a G major 7th, continue doing that through the harmonized major scale. Next chord, A minor 7th, we're going to start on the 7th and do the same thing. And once you can do that, try to combine the first 2 degrees of that exercise. For the 3 minor 7th, it's the same shape. The 4 major 7th, we're going back to the first shape again. And then for the dominant chord, we're going to go to that same shape, but we're changing the 7th now. So it's a flat 7, same picking technique obviously. I like to keep that note as a major 7th there. I always think that the major 7th is a better leading tone to have before the root, so I keep that the same throughout the entire exercise. So what we've got so far is major, minor, minor, major, dominant. Now we're starting to get high up the guitar neck, and of course you could continue doing those patterns and you would be fine doing that on those string sets, but I think it's good to change here to E minor 7th on the top 3 strings. So we're doing the same thing where we start on the 7th and it's the same pattern. So 7, 5, 3, root, back to that major 7th, passing tone, and then up the triad. Next chord is a minor 7 flat 5. So that's going to be 7, flat 5, flat 3, and then root. And then we're back full circle at G major 7 on the top 3 strings. So those last 3 chords, played nice and slow, sound like this. The entire thing, played across all chord types, sounds like this. This next challenge is also over the harmonized major scale and uses a bebop figure that you hear Charlie Parker and Dizzy Gillespie use. If I just play it over the first 2 chords, it sounds like this. So what's going on there? So we've got the same start to the line, but when we go up to the 5th this time, we've got this figure where it goes 7, 5, 7 to the 6th of the chord, like that. So, and then we have the same thing on the next chord there as well, meaning that we're playing to the natural 6th of the minor chord, and we keep that going over 3 minor 7, 4 major 7, 5 dominant 7, and then for the E minor 7, still playing on the natural 6, not the diatonic 6 of the G major scale, F sharp minor 7 flat 5, I go to the D natural there because it seems to sound nicer on that chord, which is of course is a flattened 6 or a minor 6, not the natural 6 that's on the other chords. That D sharp just sounds a little bit wrong to my ears. So once again, minor 7 flat 5. Sounds like that, and then of course we're at G major 7, which we've already done, but now we're going to do it in a higher octave. Let's play through both examples nice and slowly. So example number 1. Example number 2. The next example demonstrates different arpeggios on different string sets together over a G minor chord this time. This is just over 1 chord, and the line sounds like this. Played a little bit slower. What's happening here is we're playing over a G minor 7th chord, but we're using upper extension arpeggios. So we're starting with a descending D minor 7th arpeggio, same picking technique, down, and then a consecutive set of backstrokes, and then we're going to a B flat major 7th arpeggio, the same shape we've already used on previous examples, and the last arpeggio is a G minor 7th arpeggio right there that we're just descending like so. So played slowly. You've got 3 arpeggios on different string sets. Now there's 2 ways which you can execute this particular line rhythmically. You can either do the same rhythm as what we've done previously, in which you use a quarter note to a triplet, so that kind of thing. Or you can kind of double that up and you can play an 8th note into 2 16th notes. And you get that kind of a sound, which is a nice sound to do. Almost feels easier once you get used to it, and it's a good way to develop fluency and dexterity over multiple different arpeggios. I hope that you enjoy working through these arpeggio challenges and they help bring a little bit more bebop flavour to your playing. If you did find these useful, then please don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to this channel for more videos like this. Thank you for watching.